Hello scholars. Today we are going to start with Civics chapter 7, Urban Local Government. In the previous chapter we have discussed about the local government in rural areas, and in this chapter we are going to study about the local government in urban areas. The 74th Amendment Act of the Constitution 1992 has given us the three different local self-government in urban areas, which are Nagar Panchayat, Municipal Committee and Municipal Corporations. In this chapter, we are going to study about these three local self-government which are working in urban areas. First of all, we are going to discuss about Nagar Panchayat. Nagar Panchayat is basically for those areas which are developing from a rural to a urban area. These type of areas are neither qualified for having a municipality and nor they are up to a level of having a panchayat. But still these areas need a local governing body to govern it. Even the population criteria or the minimum population needed for setting up a Nagar Panchayat differs from state to state. Next we are going to discuss about the composition of Nagar Panchayat. A Nagar Panchayat is often divided into small wards, and all the eligible voters of that ward is electing a representative who is known as ward member. These ward members are the members of Nagar Panchayat. Other than these elected members, Nagar Panchayat is even having some nominated and ex officio members. The tenure of Nagar Panchayat is also 5 years, but it can be dissolved in between if it is not working up to the expectations of the people. Next we'll discuss about the functions of Nagar Panchayat. The main function of Nagar Panchayat is to provide and to take care of the civic amenities of the people living in that area. It looks after water supply, sanitation, health facilities, education, parks, public buildings and so on. It even keeps a record of the birth and death of the people in that area. Next we are going to discuss about the sources of income of a Nagar Panchayat. The main source of income for a Nagar Panchayat is basically the taxes. A Nagar Panchayat collect different type of taxes like property tax, sales tax, fair tax, and even it receives the grants from the state government. So these are some of the sources of income for a Nagar Panchayat. Next we are going to discuss about the second type of self-governing body in urban areas, that is municipality. Municipality is even known as municipal council or municipal committee. It is generally meant for small towns and cities. The cities which are having the population between 20,000 and 10 lakhs are having municipalities. Next we are going to discuss about the composition of a municipality. In a municipality also, the members are directly elected by the registered voters. Means all the people, those who are above 18 years of age and are living in that area and are eligible to vote, can elect the members of a municipality. And if anybody want to contest the elections, the minimum age is 25 years. The members of the municipality or municipal council are called as councillors. The number of members in each and every municipality depends on the population of that area and it varies from town to town. For election purpose, the city is divided into smaller areas called wards, and from each ward, the representatives who are elected are known as ward members. Even a municipality follows the reservation policies. In each and every municipality, some seats are reserved for the members belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and 1/3 of seats are reserved for women candidates. A municipality also has some nominated and ex officio members, and even the MPs and MLAs of that area also forms a part of municipality. Municipality even comprises of some of the people, those who are having special knowledge about the administration of a municipality. A municipality is also elected for a time period of 5 years. Next we are going to discuss about the office bearers of a municipality. or the people those who presides over the meetings of a municipality. The members of a municipality together elects a chairperson who presides over the meetings of a municipality. They even elects a vice chairperson who presides over the meetings in absence of the chairperson. Next we are going to discuss about the permanent officials of a municipality. There are certain officers, those who are taking care of the day-to-day working of a municipality. These officers are Executive Officer, Secretary Health Officer, Sanitary Inspectors, Municipal Engineers, Octroi Inspectors and Education Officers. These officers are having the duty to follow the instructions and to implement the decisions which are taken by the members of the municipality. Next we are going to study about the third type of local self-government in urban areas, which is municipal corporation. A municipal corporation is basically a self-governing body for big cities. Any city having population more than 10 lakhs is having a municipal corporation. Next we are going to discuss about the composition of municipal corporation. Like a municipality, the members of a municipal corporation are also elected by the people, those who are above 18 years of age. And if anybody want to contest the elections, the minimum age is 25 years or above. The elected members of the municipal corporation are also called as councillors. For election purpose, even in a municipal corporation too, the city is divided into smaller areas known as wards, and from each ward the representatives are elected, those who are called as ward members. Here too, some seats are reserved for the members of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and 1/3 of seats are reserved for women. Even in a municipal corporation too, there are certain members, those who are nominated and are ex officios. Even MPs and MLAs also forms a part of municipal corporation. The nominated and ex officio members are generally called as aldermen and are being elected by the councillors on the basis of their experience and the social work which they have done. Next we are going to discuss about the office bearers of the municipal corporation. The members of the municipal corporation elects a mayor or Mahapaur who presides over the meetings of municipal corporation. The members even elects a deputy mayor and Up Mahapaur who is having the duty to preside over the meetings in absence of mayor. Next we are going to discuss about the permanent officials of municipal corporation. Like municipality, municipal corporation is also having some permanent members, and these permanent members are appointed by the state government. The corporation has a chief executive officer who is known as municipal commissioner, and he acts as a link between the municipal corporation and the state government. His duty is to implement the laws which are framed by the corporation, and he is assisted by the officer in charge of different departments like health, sanitation, education, etc. Next we are going to discuss about committee. Committee is basically a group of members. The corporation sets up committee for taking care of the day-to-day work of the corporation. There is a committee for each and every subject, and as we have discussed, that committee means a group of people. So every committee is having 5 to 12 members of the corporation and a head or chairperson. Next we are going to discuss about the functions of municipal corporation. As municipal corporation is a local self-governing body for an urban area, so in this context there are certain functions of municipal corporation. A municipal corporation generally have two types of functions, which are compulsory functions and optional functions. So now we are going to discuss about these type of functions. First is compulsory functions. Compulsory functions are the functions which are needed to be taken care by the municipal corporation at every level. First compulsory function is public health. It is the duty of municipal corporation to set up health centers, hospitals and dispensaries for the common people and to provide them with the needed vaccinations to prevent the spread of deadly diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, cholera, etc. Next compulsory function is sanitation. It is the duty of municipal corporation to make arrangements for clearing and disposal of garbage, cleaning of roads, public toilets, markets, drains, etc. And even it is having the duty to make the people aware of the importance of sanitation and cleanliness by various means. Next function is to take care of water supply. It is the duty of municipal corporation to provide clean and safe drinking water for the people living in that particular area and to take care of the proper supply of water. Next compulsory function is education. Municipal corporation establishes and maintains the primary and secondary schools and even adult education centers. It is even having the duty to set up libraries, museums and zoos to increase the knowledge of the people. Next major and compulsory function is lighting. Municipal corporation is having the duty to make arrangements for street lightings, park lightings, etc. Next function is public security. Public security means securing the life of people or making the people safe. Municipality adopts various methods to safeguard the life of people during adverse conditions. It maintains fire brigades to protect the life of people in case of any fire. It even demolishes the old buildings which are not in good condition and can collapse any time and can result in any of the mishappening. It even takes steps to maintain the quality of goods and even checks food adulteration. Next, and one of the most important function of municipality is public works. It is the duty of municipality to construct roads, bridges, shopping complexes, markets and even graveyards. It even demolishes the illegal buildings. Municipality even maintains the record of births and death in a particular district. Last compulsory function of municipality is maternity and child welfare. Municipality establishes and maintains maternity and child welfare centers and even make the people aware by various means in the same context. In this manner, municipality helps in improving the condition of females and the small children. Next, we are going to discuss about the optional functions of a municipality. Some of the optional functions of municipality are to establish and maintain public parks, theatres, cinemas, etc. To construct and maintain old age homes, orphanages, rest houses, etc. To ensure supply of cooking gas and milk. To run cheap transport system. To provide housing facilities. To organize events like exhibitions, fairs, etc. These are some of the optional functions of a municipality, and all these functions greatly affect the life of a person living in a town or a city. Next, we are going to discuss about the decision-making process of a municipality. As we have already discussed, the elected representatives of a municipal corporation are called as councillors, and there is an elected councillor from each and every ward. So whenever there is any issue in any of the ward, the councillor of that ward presents that issue in front of the council committee. Then the entire council discusses and debates over those issues, and finally the decision is implemented by the commissioner. In this manner, if there is any issue in any of the ward, then the councillor of that area is responsible to keep those issues in front of the entire council and provide a better solution for all those issues. Next, we are going to study about the sources of income of a municipality. The main source of income for a municipality is tax. Municipality collects property tax from the people. Property tax comprises of 25 to 30% of the municipal corporation's income. The larger the house, the more will be the tax. Municipality even imposes taxes on the goods which are coming into the city from outside. This tax is known as octroi. Municipality also imposes taxes on businesses and occupations. It earns money from vehicle tax, which is charged on motorcycles, cars and carriages. It collects education tax for educational activities and entertainment tax from cinemas, theatres, etc. It also imposes taxes on shopkeepers and traders and collect taxes. It also imposes toll tax on the users of roads. Municipality also earns money from municipal properties. It earns income from the water and electricity which is supplied to all the houses in the city. Municipality even issue fees on the registration of birth and death certificates. Municipality even collects fees for issuing birth and death certificates and also obtain grants from the state government for different purposes. So these are the different means through which a municipality earns income, and again this income is utilized for the betterment or for the welfare activities of the people. Next we are going to discuss about citizens' protest. As you all know that India is a democratic country, and in a democracy people are having the right or freedom to express themselves. So in the same manner, if any of these governing bodies are not working satisfactorily or up to the expectations of the people, then the people living in that area are having the right to protest against them in different manner. The people can protest in the form of rallies, dharnas, campaigns and so on. In case of any issues or demands, people initially go and inform it to the elected councillor from their area. Then the people with their ward councillor and the officer in charge of that concerned department can go and put their demand in front of the commissioner. Then the commissioner is liable to conduct a meeting of the councillors or the entire council and discuss over that issue and come to a solution for that. In this manner, the grievances of the people can be redressed and their issues can be sorted out. So this was all about the urban local government working at different levels. So before winding up, let us discuss about the highlights of the chapter. Urban local government works at 3 levels: Nagar Panchayat, municipalities and municipal corporations. A Nagar Panchayat is set up for an area that is in the process of changing from a rural to an urban center. The local body of a city having a small population between 20,000 and 10 lakhs is termed as municipality. Municipal corporation is the local body of cities having a population more than 10 lakhs. Duty levied on goods brought into a town is called as octroi. A municipality is having both compulsory and optional functions. Compulsory functions include public health, sanitation, water supply, education, lighting, public security, public works, and maternity and child welfare. So this was all about the chapter. With this we are going to wind up today's class. Good day for now. Stay home, stay safe.